Hi, everyone. My name is Patrick. I work with our global enterprise clients at Uplane. And over the past decade, marketing has become incredibly powerful, but also incredibly complex. Enterprises today run marketing across dozens of channels, hundreds of campaigns, and millions of combinations of different ads, landing pages, and placements. And your marketing teams, they should not focus their time on manually creating these ads and landing pages, or on monitoring some dashboards, or on managing your agencies. Their biggest value is not campaign operations, it's strategy, creativity, and growth. And so we think that the next step in this evolution is quite clear. Marketing should move from manual operations to autonomous, self-optimizing systems. And at Uplane, we're building the technology that makes this possible. So in an ideal world, every customer should get a personalized ad. Your marketing optimizes 24/7. But when we're talking to marketing leaders these days, what I hear is actually we're unfortunately quite still away from that ideal world. And the challenges that we're hearing about are very consistent. Complexity has exploded. Data is scattered across different tools, different platforms, and personalization and experimentation work well as a pilot, but are difficult to run at scale. And when you think about it, this is actually not surprising, because every campaign today involves dozens of parameters. You choose your creative, you choose your audiences, you choose your channel, your bidding strategy, your testing roadmap. And when you multiply this across campaigns, across products, across brands, potentially even across countries, you see how you can easily end up with tens of thousands of marketing decisions that need to be made every month. And as a result, what we see companies doing is compromising in order to simplify. So you run fewer variations of ads. You stick to a broader message instead of personalizing. You limit your testing roadmap. You allocate your budgets upfront. This approach is understandable, but it also leaves huge optimization potential on the table. And CMOs that we're talking to, they're saying, but look, listen, we do personalize, we do try to test a little bit. And when I ask them, how do you do it? They show me something like this. And unfortunately, I assume this looks actually quite familiar to some of you, because this is a real-life CRM workflow from one of our customers in the US. And this is segment-specific, by the way. And now imagine maintaining something like this manually across touch points, across segments. It is impossible. It becomes a complete chaos. And so when we then ask these CMOs, do you really think that this is the best possible solution? The answer is obviously no. Because instead of simplifying or drowning in these workflows, what we should do is actually let technology handle all of this complexity. And this is exactly what Uplane does. We start with automated market intelligence. We analyze your first-party data, your competitors, what is on the news, what is currently culturally relevant. And based on that, we generate personalized ads, video ads, static ads, UGC ads at scale, including suitable landing pages. We deploy them across all channels. We run automated A/B tests, and we optimize your campaign 24/7. Uplane basically fits across all of your existing platforms and channels, and it bridges any pre-existing silos that you might have in your marketing organization. However, at the same time, your marketing team stays in full control. What Uplane automates is the execution layer. And we don't just generate hundreds of different ads, we also personalize them. And we do that using your own first-party data. We personalize both for new paid customer acquisition to make the message relevant to the different segments that you're addressing, or even hyper-personalize when you run CRM campaigns, be it across EDM or retargeting. And then we take all of these different variants and we start testing them across different combinations of audience segments, different combinations of ads, landing pages, and different channels. And based on the results of these learnings, we reallocate your budget dynamically across all channels and across all variants. And we do that 24/7 hours a day. And why is experimentation important? Now, take one of our clients. They have around 200 million in ad spend. If we just take 2 ads and we let them run in parallel for 1 week, and after a week we take the variant that performs worse and we take it offline, we can see that compared to just running 1 ad, we can easily generate for like 5% in value improvement here, which for this customer was worth around 10 million alone. But now imagine scaling this. Don't just run 2 ad variants for a week, run 5 variants every day. You can see that the potential that you can unlock here becomes massive. In order for this to work, you need to make sure that the solution really fits your enterprise ecosystem. And enterprise ecosystems are complex. We do this by, first of all, integrating in your existing MarTech stack. No matter which vendor you're using, what your data quality looks like, which tech architecture you have, uplane fits on top of whatever you have. You don't need to adjust anything. We're also a solution that can ensure 100% brand compliance, which especially when we talk about generating ads is a very sensitive topic for many brands out there. And I'll show you in a second how we do this. And of course, we adhere to enterprise-grade security standards in terms of how we handle data. But yeah, let's now maybe take a look at how we do this for one of our clients, Deutsche Bahn. For them, we've set up and display ad generation. And what you can see here is basically the demo version of this display feed. So here, based on search intent of the user, the AI would automatically, within seconds, generate custom display ads that will get placed across Google. But for Deutsche Bahn, one of the important topics to remember was sometimes they have, for example, let's say a promo coming up, and you don't know that in advance. And so they needed an option to also manually generate ads whenever such an opportunity arises. So if you want to do this, you would just click in the bar up there, and let's say you want to advertise a 30% discount on rides from Hamburg to Frankfurt. So you can just type that in here, and you click on Generate. And what the AI will do now is in the background scrape the DAM of Deutsche Bahn, see are there any pre-existing assets that we can use. So the image itself doesn't even need to be AI generated. And it looks at previous competitor ads, at previous Deutsche Bahn ads. And then within roughly 30 seconds, it creates a new ad. And let's take this one here. We see the AI actually generated a dynamic ad, very much sort of the typical price alert style of Deutsche Bahn. And what we can do is, let's say we don't like some of the wording that has been used here. We can click into any frame of the video, and we can actually adjust it live. And that way, we can ensure that whatever we do, which logo elements we're using, what kind of text we're using, it's always 100% compliant to your brand, and it even works in regulated environments. And just like that, we have a new custom ad, and we can also now export this to Google. So let's take the mobile leaderboard ad. We click on this, and automatically an HTML5 file is being created, and it's being uploaded to the Google Ads account of Deutsche Bahn. For now, because this is a demo version, we have it here as a draft. But obviously, from here, you could take this live and have your campaign up and running within 60 seconds. Now, we also see, especially with our enterprise clients, that moving towards AI automated marketing is not a switch that you can flip overnight. So usually what we do is we accompany our clients through 4 phases. The first one is AI is really just a tool that your team is using, and basically work with it just as they do with any of your existing MarTech tools. And then gradually we move towards the AI operating more and more autonomously, your team providing approval, then only troubleshooting, and in the end state, the AI fully running campaign management so that your team can focus on where they add the most value. And despite being a US company, we actually also work with quite a few German companies as well already. And looking at the performance results, we see that this really works. We see about a 30% ROAS uplift and up to 80% increase in conversions after just 3 months of using uplane. And thanks to our asset generation, you can reduce your performance marketing asset production spend by up to 70%. And we have a booth outside, so feel free to come by. We can show you a demo of how this could look like for your brand. And yeah, we'll look forward to connecting with some of you. Thanks.